Turn iPhone on. So we'll see how the audio sounds, I guess.
All right. Let me jump in there real quick and then. Oh, we got Kyle and John and Brett watching.
Sounds good. All right.
We're doing things. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us for another WeRock Wednesday Arizona edition. Want to thank Maxxis Tires, Laser Nut, Brannick Motorsports, Metal Cloak, Crown Automotive, Tire Right, Behemoth Drivetrain, Carnage Welders, Axle Helmets, Drive Shaft Specialists of San Antonio, Spider Tracks, and Raceline Wheels. Also, one more huge shout out. I want to thank FMI Mining, Aaron Armstrong, Robert Camacho, the Bagdad Fire Department, Chase Johnson, and all of our volunteers that came out, Cam Beasley, all the way from Virginia to come out and help, Clean Harbors, Rural Services, and Rich and Shelley. Thank you to everybody that made the Bagdad season opener, presented by Flying High Off-Road and brought to you by Maxxis Tires. Absolutely incredible. We had a blast, and I hope you guys did as well. Lots of things to talk about tonight. What do you want to jump into? So first of all, we have been wheeling all day here in Bumblebee, just north side of Phoenix, and epic couple days of wheeling. We're so glad that we got to stick around for a couple days before we jet back home and get ready for Tennessee Rocks in Texas at the end of the month. So awesome day. I winched a couple times. You made things look boring.
You winched 1.5 times.
1.5 times?
I pulled you. I pretty much used spotter strap on the second one.
Yeah. It was epic day of wheeling with kind of some early Bronco guys. I guess there's a couple
buggies.
of us, and 2 buggies with Bronco skins.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
2 early Broncos and 2 buggies with Bronco skins.
So anyways, that's what we've been doing past couple days. We have been having a blast here in Arizona and enjoying some extra time off out here to celebrate an amazing season opener. So let's jump right into it. So one of the first things to talk about is the number of sportsman class rigs that we had. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, we had a lot.
Yeah.
I want to say we had... Yeah,
was
Sportsman
12.
C was 10, I think.
10. Oh, okay, we ended up with 10.
And then
21 in Sportsman B. And 12 in Sportsman A.
I think so.
Yep. So, absolutely incredible. Thank you guys for all coming out and participating with us. I hope you had a blast. Cedar City will be our next West Coast event. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the all-female podium in Sportsman B. So that's Sportsman B?
Yeah, Sportsman B.
Yeah,
first place,
Charlene.
Alyssa Winters. First place. Second place, Charlene Simhauser.
Yep.
Third place, Crystal Hansen.
Yeah. So super rad. Like anybody, any of you guys that came out and participated, my hat is off to you guys because those are tough courses, and for anybody to make it onto the podium at any event is absolutely impressive, and a super cool all-female podium there for the Sportsman B.
Yep.
Sportsman A.
First place,
so we had
Craig Allen.
Yep.
Allen.
Yep.
Second place was Kendra Winters, I believe.
Yep.
Third place, we may have to pull up scores.
Oh, Lexi Jordan.
Oh, yep.
So
that is something to talk about right there.
So not only did we have an incredible young man with Craig Allen, but also
an all kids Sportsman A.
All kids Sportsman A.
Yeah.
So between Kendra and Lexi, so super cool for sure. That is very, very impressive, and that just a true testament to, you know, that family environment that we talk about WeRock as being a family, but it's actually, you know, you guys are the ones that make it a family. So and it's impressive to see the kids take 1, 2, 3 in Sportsman A is super cool. Like that's I can't say enough about that. So many highlights to talk about from the weekend, but while we're talking about Sportsman A, it was really good to see Tracy Jordan having a great time with his daughter out on course. And of course, like they killed it, you know, as you would expect. Like really,
out of a over 20-year-old car.
Yeah, that's like almost a 25-year-old car now, the old Matrix buggy, and it is still super competitive. It worked amazing, and Lexi did a great job, you know, working with her dad, and just I'd like to say it's all spotter, but that is not the case. You know, like she's got to be able to.
WeRock is a team effort. You have to have a good driver, a pretty good car, and a good spotter. It all has to come together in order for you to be on the podium.
Yep. Yeah, so super cool. Sportsman C, a huge field of Toyotas.
And I think I pretty much rolled every single one of them. I don't think I rolled Tony Riviera.
I think...
Or the Guts Wheeler, maybe? I don't know if I rolled them.
I don't think so.
I think everyone else may have ended up on their side.
I think C4 had somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 16 rollovers on C4, so that was incredibly difficult. Gate number 2 up there on Saturday.
And if they made it through gate number 2, I think 2 of them rolled over on gate number 3, so it was not it was not an easy course.
Yeah, but the Guts Wheelers taking first place in there with Ben and Jim. Tony and Riley, Tony Riviera and Riley Klingeman
in that sweet beat up blue Toyota.
Yeah, that thing's awesome. And then Brandon Jennings and Mike Oakes for third place. So joining this, I think, are they out of the Farmington area?
I think they're out of the Farmington area.
Okay, so I know that's where they competed with this.
Yep. I rolled him over in Farmington, destroyed his cab. He cut that off, put a cage on, and he is out competing again.
Yeah. So a very, very hard fought battle in Sportsman C. One of the things that I will bring up in Sportsman C, if you guys aren't on, I think it's on the Rock Buggies page on Facebook, but Steve Allard has snatched up Boober's Cherokee, and they are going to make some upgrades to it, new cage and some suspension work before Cedar City. So we are super excited.
Steering work, because I know it was pretty much falling apart on the second course Saturday. It was.
Yeah, so we love seeing that the camaraderie between the teams, and we heard it from a lot of spectators over the weekend as well. That how cool that is that everybody works together to help everybody out, both you know, the sportsman side and on the pro side is you know, that's what we're all about. And that's if you grew up in the off-road, you know, arena, regardless of what you're doing. You know, our motto is to not leave anyone stranded out, you know, wherever they may be. So very cool that carries over into competitive rock crawling. So yeah.
Well, we want to talk about some of the other camaraderie that we had this weekend.
Sure. What's that?
Weekend. Well, let's see. Let's move into. If we want to talk about unlimiteds, we only had 4 unlimited cars, and the Brassininis had a little bit of a rough start. Sawyer first course braking front and axle shaft, and then Michael Brassini going on course taking a horrible rollover, bending the cage, splitting the transmission in half.
Yeah, if you guys haven't, I don't think I've seen any pictures or anything, but it completely broke the bell housing all the way around. They did everything they could to try and get it back together to where he could compete some more for the weekend, but unfortunately it just wasn't to be. But
So then, in order to keep Sawyer going, I think they were pretty much scavenging parts off of Michael's car to keep Sawyer in the game.
Yep. Yeah, so Sawyer broke an inner axle shaft in the front, inner axle shaft in the rear, and just trying to get any kind of progression points or anything. Full assault at the unlimited gate right out of the start.
Yep.
And ended up upside down. During the recovery, we got into the shock and damaged the shock, so then they had to swap out shocks.
Yep.
They were back and forth trying to get the right length shocks in there, with spares and other shocks.
Yeah,
off the
did
other
they end
cars.
up taking one of Michael's shocks off of it?
I think, I'm not sure what they ended up doing, but they did end up, I believe, replacing both shocks, so they had a matching set in the back of that car. Anybody that's ever worked on a portal rig will know how much effort it is to get those big portal boxes off, to get in to where you can access the axle shafts. So a ton of work put in by both Colin and Sawyer.
Yep.
Thrashing on that car,
Yeah,
throwing
I
parts
think
at it all weekend.
Unlimited
to
ended
get
up
back.
being a complete battle of attrition.
Yes.
So let's see. It's like, again, start of Saturday. Sawyer breaking axle shafts, rolling over. Michael rolling over, putting them out of the competition. And so then pretty much at the end of the day, the top two leading was John Himble, 5 points ahead of Dave Wong.
Yep.
So, I mean, just a crazy first day for the Unlimiteds. And then we look at, let's see, if we go to Pro Trail.
Well, let's before we jump into Pro Trail, one of the things that I wanted to talk about that we actually got to see play out with one of our rule changes this year.
Yep, that happened
was,
the first
being
course
able,
of Sunday.
Yeah,
Yep.
being able to keep your bonus points. Dave Wong, right out the gate Sunday morning.
Yep. So he did both bonuses on the first course Sunday. So, but in that, he had spent so much time making that climb. He got to gate 4 and tried to shoot through it super off camber side hill. He just tried to throttle through it, turn the rear uphill to try and get clean. Ended up rolling the car onto its roof and ending their first course upside down. That should have opened the door right there for John.
Oh, he did. He told John, he's like, "Here you go, man. I served it up for you."
Yep.
Handed
And
this
John
one
went
to
out
you.
on course, did not do the bonus climb.
Right. He started his timer, and I guess it started and then immediately went to 1 second, and then that was all that it did. Yeah.
Yep. So he went out on course, timer did not work, and skipped the bonus 5 or unlimited bonus just to try and get through the course. All they had to do was finish, and they came up short on time right there at the finish gate.
Yeah. So with the rule changes, Dave ended up getting progression on 4 gates.
Yep.
So he had a negative
10.
He DNF'd.
He
So
DNF'd, so he had a 40 point
points.
penalty. He has a negative 10 from the progression. He made it through all 4 gates, and he made it through both bonuses. So this year, brand new rule, he gets to keep that negative 20 from the bonuses, even though he DNF'd. So that put him, or I guess he had a negative 15 from the progression with the 5 gate. So that put him with a negative 35 from both bonuses and progressions for a positive 5. John Himble did 1 bonus, all 4 gates, and did not do the other bonus and did not finish.
Yeah, Dave got negative 10 because he did not get credit. He didn't make it through.
He didn't make it through
the 5th gate on there, but John did. But he only did 1 bonus.
1 bonus. So he, so that's where they were Saturday tied, or Saturday, John was 5 points ahead. By the end of the first course on Sunday, they were tied with both DNFing.
Yeah. So, John went on to
Course A4.
Course A4.
Yep.
Working on a bonus line that was up where you drop the front tires off on the back side and kind of worked your way down through there. And his ring and pinion in the front decided to no longer be a ring and pinion.
It came apart there, and they were able to. Ended up taking both 5 cones, but they were able to back out and just full drive and back out the finish. But then he had a broken front end. It was amazing. Michael Brasini, Dave Wong were standing right there. As soon as he came off course, it was immediate, like, what can they do to fix it?
Yep.
They're trying to figure out, well, can we put one of Brasini's third members in it? Well, it ended up he's running a reverser box. So it would have been upside down. It wouldn't have worked. So, I mean, they tried and searched for any way to get a new third member, new ring and pinion in there, and unfortunately could not fix that front end for John Himble. And so once again, Bagdad has taken out John Himble.
Yep, definitely the curse of Bagdad for the Mad Cow Racing team continues for another year. So hopefully, wheels that car quite a bit, and probably just was time that something let go in there.
Yeah,
so.
And I know he just had rebuilt the axles. I'm assuming he probably just kept the third members in there, cut them down, and everything. So I'm sure those probably had quite a few trail miles on it and even competition.
Yeah. So heartbreak again for the Mad Cow team. Dave Wong able to hold on to his lead that he had tied there on the first course and build on that for the rest of the day. But the big story on there was for Sunday was that Sawyer had to keep his car together and he had to run some good courses in order to make
over
up.
And braking on Saturday, he was still really far behind John Himble.
Yep.
So he had to run every course and finish in order to pass John and be in the shootout and go into the shootout.
Yep. And they did.
Yep.
They made it
they
happen.
Kept the car together.
And they put together a good shootout run. It was fun to watch, and just to see Colin and Sawyer, excited and happy for all the effort that they had to put in to get that car back out there. That was an awesome job by those guys. So congratulations to all of our Unlimited teams that persevered.
It was a crazy weekend for the Unlimiteds. It was, just some really hard stuff. And, we started with 4, we ended with 2.
Yeah. All right. Then we move into Pro Trail. Talk about Pro Trail a little bit. So,
I once again on the podium, Brett Dickey. Tyler Harper in second place, building an entire new car just to try and keep up with Brett. And he is still not there. But that's still a brand new car for Tyler.
Yes.
His first competition was out there at X-Rock at the Gold Rush event at KOH. And now this was his first WeRock event in it. And so, he was definitely pushing and trying some really good lines. I thought he almost had that unlimited gate bonus climb on A2 there, that super big wall. He had to go to the throttle just to back off of it. That's how big of a wall this was. And but just not enough to keep Brett off there. And then third place we had Jewel Jenkins back out.
Yep.
Last time she competed was 21. We competed in the Unlimited class together at Farmington, and that was her debut in a rear steer car. And now they are back out in the Pro Trail class in their new buggy. So very cool to see.
Yeah, they had some breakage as well.
Yep.
But they were able to get it repaired and get back out. And with Trevor Rich spotting, that's going to be, I think, an incredible team. Once they get comfortable and get some seat time and some vents under their belt, I think that is going to be a really solid team there too. But in the shootout, we saw over the big fin right there, we had Tyler went up the bonus line. George Liner spotting for him, went to the spotter strap, able to pull him right up. Brett didn't even...
Yeah, he just drove up it.
It was absolutely insane.
Just, a straight vertical wall.
Probably 12-foot vertical wall. And he just
the car just stuck.
Yeah, so I'll just drive up it and save the
pretty
effort,
much took
so.
we lost. We're on a black screen.
Uh-oh.
It didn't like that. We have two. It says we have. I think we may still have audio, but we may have lost video.
Oh.
I can see the router. It says we only have 2 bars of connection. Oh, it's reconnecting. There we are. So, yeah, I mean, just an incredible shootout. And, what do we want to move to Pro Mod?
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and jump into Pro
So,
Mod.
I mean, pretty much the closest fought battle between the 4 of those Pro Mods. We had Victor Bunnis in 4th place. 3rd place, George Liner. 2nd place was Jason Reeves. 1st place, Braxton. I think Braxton ended up getting a pretty good lead by Sunday, probably 50 points. But 3rd through 4th was less than a cone or something. It was an absolutely insane weekend for the Pro Mods. And as you know, I do not set easy courses for Pro Mod. And so they absolutely fought the entire weekend. I know George, first course of Saturday, broke the front drive line, and then later that day broke an axle shaft, and then rolling the car. I mean, it was just a battle of finishing courses, and what cones are you going to take? And just an insane weekend for the Pro Mods, and Braxton just came out on top, running a really good, I think only DNFing 2 courses.
Which is impressive for the Pro Mods.
For Pro Mods, sure. But I think every there was only 1 course that none of the Pro Mods finished, which was I think Saturday A81. I don't think anyone finished that. But Braxton did come close, timing out on gate 4 on his way to the finish.
Yeah, and Braxton had some breakage. Like you said, George and Laura definitely had a number of car issues to work through. Victor Bunnis came out, and he was right there as well. That was. It
was a battle into the shootout for sure.
Yeah, and George. They were in second.
They were in second going into the shootout. So George ended up beating Jason Reeves driving Charlie Vaca's old Campbell car. And they were 3 points ahead of Jason going into the shootout. So it came down to the shootout. And George got in there, and it was all diff rocks for 5 minutes. And they ended up mowing cones over and ended up coning out when the rear tire hit the exit gate, the check-in gate.
Yeah, so close. Again, anybody that came out and competed, congratulations. It is not easy to be out there, and if you guys were awesome enough
to not roll over,
to get on the podium, hats off to you guys. It was an amazing show. Every square inch of that place was absolutely packed with spectators, with campers, with vendors. It's an amazing sight. If you guys have not had the opportunity to come out and partake in the Bagdad, Arizona event, I highly recommend it. It is in the middle of nowhere. It is about an hour and a half to the closest hotel, but it is an absolute blast. And thank you guys for everybody being incredible sportsmen and putting on an incredible event. It was very, very cool. So, talk a little bit about Texas. I know we've had a couple of questions come up in. We are looking for judges. So if anybody would like to judge for any event, shoot us a message, jake@werocklive.com. You can hit us on any of the social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram is the easiest, and let us know. So that we definitely would love to have the help. The rocks in Texas are the craziest thing that you'll ever see somebody put tires on. What are you thinking for courses for Texas?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to figure out where we want to be, where the courses are going to be, how we're going to set up. But Texas is big boulders, a lot of diff rocks. But man, the climbs you can do out there, because the rock has so much traction, is just insane. And it's like it's one of those spots where it's like you have to go wheel there at least once.
Yeah.
I know typically Steve Marquardt does a like Rockaholics.
Oh, the Rockaholics. Yep. And I think that's the following week.
Yep. Where
So
they
a little bit different this year.
go run hard trails there at Contempsey or Wolf Caves. So I mean, just go out and watching those guys drive up some insane stuff. It's very cool.
Yeah. I had some other notes on Texas. Oh, so the I believe all the cabins are spoken for. I will confirm that. Reach out to the park, and you can find them on Facebook, their website, Contempsey Rocks. And if you're still looking for an RV site or a cabin, but I believe the cabins are spoken for. There may still be an RV site or two available, but still plenty of dry camping available there. Great barbecue down there is always fun.
Yep.
Always like to talk about food. We have Honey Creek, I believe is what that the food vendor on site does amazing breakfast burritos, breakfast food, lunch and dinner, and they will be on site providing all of that for you guys, so you can don't have to worry so much about packing things to eat. So they do a phenomenal job with that as well.
And I guess we can probably talk about what makes Texas so special.
Yeah.
It is a East versus West event. It is a combined points. You go there, you get wherever you finish. Let's say you finish third place in your class, you will have third place points for the East, and you will have third place points for the West. That counts as 2 events going towards the national championship.
Yep. Yeah, so if you were, say you showed up in Baghdad, you weren't going to be able to make it to Cedar, or you weren't going to be able to make it to Moon Rocks, show up to Texas, and then you only have to make one of those other events.
Yep.
So
for the Western Series and
yep.
for the National Series.
Yep, for the Brannick Motorsports National Championship, and then also for the Western Series, that'll count points there as well.
Yep.
So, yes. Super fun. I'm hoping that we can really entice some of the Texas guys to come out and see if they can maybe keep some of the guys off the podium.
I know Randy just had his new Sasquatch car
Yep.
built and delivered, and so maybe we'll see.
Maybe we'll see Randy in Pro Trail.
Pro Trail again. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, he man, he can wheel that thing. So, and he's that's his home turf.
Yep.
So he is always very hard to beat down there. So that could be a really fun one to watch. And anybody else in Texas that wants to come out and see if they can keep some of these East or West Coast guys off the podium, it'll be fun. See if you can kind of really mess with things. We hear a lot of stuff that the teams, or not teams even really, that the Texas guys don't want to come out and mess up the points or something like that. But I think that's their job, right? Like that's their home territory. They want to show that these are their rocks, and that they know them better than anybody else, regardless of what class or where, if you're from, the Sand Mountain area or wherever you're from. Like, you come here to Texas, and I believe the saying is, don't mess with Texas.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, I think we've got through just about everything that we wanted to cover. Let me look back through any of the questions here real quick. Thank you guys again for a great event. We had Ricardo come out with his Ultra 4 car. He said it's a little heavy and a little wide, but he said he had a great time, and we're definitely, it was really cool to see some crossover.
Did it, and
from
I don't
the
know if
other
he had a
side.
spotter.
I don't think he ran with a spotter.
So I bet you that would help a lot.
Yeah. So a couple of tidbits. Skip Scott came out and he helped judge.
Yep.
So
he
that
helped
was
set up and judge.
Yep. So that was awesome. Also want to
He
thank
drove
Matt.
the electric buggy.
He
that
did.
That was pretty amazing to see.
Yep. All right. So the one of the things that I did hear from a couple of guys that judged is that they learned so much, and I do highly recommend that if you're interested in competing with WeRock. Maybe watching a judge's video doesn't really give you the best idea. Come out and judge. That will really give
that puts you right on course.
Right
you
on
get
course.
To see
you get
all
to hear
the
the
strategy.
communication, see how each team, approaches a course differently, and so that can be a huge asset when you jump into competing, to be familiar with a lot of those. David is asking about Goldendale. Yes, we did actually look at the schedule, and we are currently hoping to have that released before Texas. So we will be jumping on that ASAP to get that date out for you guys, so you can get vacation off and make those plans for this fall to be up in Goldendale. Oh my goodness. Nick Olone, they are coming out to wheel on the front side of the comp weekend. So if you guys want to come out and wheel with them the week before, you can do that as well. All right. Anything else?
I think that's good.
All right. Well, one more time, I want to say just a huge shout out to LaserNut for providing all of those super cool trophies. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me jump back over onto the.
I can.
Oh, it's pretty weak back there.
I can fix it.
All right, Caleb's on that.
It'll get a little bit darker.
But I want to thank LaserNut for all of their support with creating all of the trophies for us and giving you guys some really cool hardware to take home. As always,
we're
Maxxis
a little dark,
tires.
but you can see.
See the sunset behind us?
The Arizona sunset behind us.
Right on. Brannick Motorsports, metal cloak suspension, Crown Automotive. Tire Right. So we've been wheeling in Arizona, and we have had to do several tire patches with the
that glue tread.
The glue tread that we got from Tire Right. So thank you, Kobe, for that. We really that has saved us twice in the 2 days that we've been here. So Behemoth Drivetrain. Thanks to Dylan for coming out all the way from Kentucky to display all of those super cool transfer cases in Baghdad. Carnage Welders. Thanks for coming out and supporting us as well. Axle helmets. We will have those next week, and so they will be able to travel with us if you guys are interested in picking up one of those axle helmets.
The vented DOT
yes,
one. Yep.
The super cool vented DOT helmets.
So if you don't have a DOT helmet for an event, you can get one from us as long as we have them.
That's right. It is a very small selection, but we will have them. We also have the WeRock 25 discount code you can get directly from their website. So just use that, and that is good for anything on their website. If you want some of their super cool merch, trail helmets, whatever you need, WeRock 25 will get you that discount code through Axle Helmets. Drive Shaft Specialists of San Antonio, thank you guys for coming on board and sponsoring the Katemsi Rocks East versus West versus Texas event coming up here. Spider Tracks Off-Road and Raceline Wheels. So thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys next